The room went silent the moment she said it. "Obey me," Nadia said, her voice crisp and loud enough to slice through the clinking glasses and lazy dinner chatter. "Or leave. I'm done pretending." 100 eyes fell on me. And in that moment, I felt something inside me crack that I didn't even know was still intact. The dinner was supposed to be a celebration. Our anniversary. 10 years. Her idea. She chose the restaurant, the guest list, even the seating. I should have known that was a sign. Soft gold lights hung from the ceiling, casting warm reflections off wine glasses and polished silverware. Friends, colleagues, family. Everyone smiling, laughing, lifting glasses in our honor. In her honor. Nadia sat beside me like a queen on her throne, back straight, chin lifted, fingers resting lightly on my forearm as if I were an accessory rather than a husband. She wore the red dress I once told her made my heart stop. Tonight it made it sink. "Speech!" someone shouted. She stood before I could. I hadn't planned anything anyway. I'd learned to stay quiet when she wanted to shine. Nadia tapped her glass, eyes sweeping the table before landing on me. "You all know," she said, smiling tightly, "that marriages work best when everyone knows their role." Few people chuckled, unsure. She placed her hand on my shoulder. Her nails dug in lightly. "Some people," she continued, "need guidance." Then she leaned closer to me and said it. "Obey me or leave." She said it like she was offering me a favor. Laughter bubbled around the table. Nervous laughter. Confused laughter. People thought it was a joke. But I saw her eyes. They were serious. And cruel. That wasn't the first time she'd humiliated me. Just the first time she did it in public. The betrayal hadn't started with another man. It started quietly, like rot under polished wood. Started with control. "Why do you dress like that? You don't need to see your friends so often. You earn less. You should be grateful." Little cuts. Daily. Carefully placed. I told myself she was stressed. I told myself strong women were just different. I told myself love was compromise. But compromise started to look like obedience. That night, after the dinner ended and the guests spilled into the parking lot buzzing with wine and gossip, Nadia slipped her arm through mine. "Don't sulk," she whispered. "You embarrassed me." I laughed softly the way I always did. Trained response. "I didn't say anything," I said. She stopped walking. "Yes," she replied, eyes narrowing. "That's what you're supposed to do." Silence. He nodded. And in my pocket my phone buzzed. I didn't check it. Should've. The message came from an unknown number. Curiosity won the next morning. "Unknown, you deserve to know." Photo followed. It took me a second to understand what I was seeing. Hotel room. Dim lighting. Mirror. 2 reflections. One was Nadia. The other was my best friend, Omar. My hands went cold. My mouth tasted like metal. I stared so long my eyes started burning. I scrolled. Video. Her laugh. His voice. Her hand on his chest. I dropped the phone like it had burned me. Betrayal isn't loud at first. It's quiet. It's the sound of your own heartbeat roaring in your ears. I didn't confront her. Not right away. I needed to breathe. To think. Feel. To survive. Over the next week, I watched her like a stranger. Her late nights. Her sudden kindness. Her fake concern. "You look tired," she said once, brushing my cheek. "Are you sick?" I wanted to scream. Instead I smiled. "I'm fine." Inside I was breaking apart piece by piece. The real shock didn't come from the betrayal. Came from what I chose to do. A month later, she organized another dinner. This time with her colleagues. She loved showing me off when it suited her. "Dress properly," she said while adjusting her earrings. "Don't embarrass me." I looked at her in the mirror. I barely recognized myself. But I felt something new. Clarity. Strength. The restaurant was even fancier this time. Crystal chandeliers. Live piano. White tablecloths so pristine they looked untouched by reality. Nadia, as always, was the center of the room. She squeezed my hand under the table. "Behave," she whispered. He nodded. and stood up. "Can I say something?" asked. The pianist slowed. Her colleagues turned to me. Nadia stiffened. "This better be good," she muttered. I felt my heart pounding, my palms sweating. But my voice was steady. "I've been told to obey," I said gently. "Or leave." Laughter. Soft, awkward. Nadia's nails dug into my wrist. "But I realized something," I went on. "Real love doesn't demand obedience. It doesn't humiliate. It doesn't lie. And it doesn't betray." Silence fell. Harder this time. Deeper. "She's been cheating on me," I said. The forks clinked. Someone inhaled sharply. Nadia's face drained of color. "Don't be ridiculous," she snapped. So I pulled out my phone and placed it on the table. I didn't play the video. I didn't have to, because Omar chose that exact moment to walk into the restaurant. He froze when he saw me. His eyes went wide. Nadia stood up so fast her chair scraped against the floor. "You did this on purpose," she hissed. I met her eyes. "For once," I said quietly, "I chose myself." What I did next wasn't loud. It wasn't violent. It wasn't dramatic. It was stronger than that. I picked up my coat. I straightened my shirt. I looked at the woman I once loved with a heart that felt like shattered glass glued back together with truth. And I walked away. In front of everyone. No shouting. No begging. No explanations. Just dignity. And silence. The divorce wasn't pretty. Nothing about betrayal ever is. She cried. She screamed. She threatened. "You'll regret this," she said over the phone one night. "I already lived my regret," I answered. Sometimes healing isn't loud either. It's slow mornings. It's coffee on a quiet balcony. It's learning to breathe without permission. It's realizing you were never weak. You were just loyal to the wrong person. A year later, I ran into her by accident. She looked smaller, less polished. Well, sure. She looked at me like she wanted to say something. I smiled politely. She opened her mouth, then closed it, and I walked past her, because the most shocking thing I ever did was not shout, not fight, not beg, but finally stop obeying and choose to leave.